Hi, in this video we're going to see how to deploy a Cisco wireless network by using an access point and a Cisco virtual wireless LAN controller. If you watched my previous video, you saw that we deployed a wireless network using an access point, an AP, on autonomous mode. So this means that we were able to manage directly the AP, set the password, set the SSID. So all of those settings that we require for wireless network, we did it directly on the AP. Now, on large deployments, say for instance more than 5 APs, it can be challenging to manage all of different APs. So you have to configure wireless, SSID on one AP, 2 AP, 3 AP, and then you have to change the password. It can be very, very challenging. Now, the best way to do this is by using a central management unit. So this central management unit should be able to manage all the APs. So centrally, you only make a change in one place and it's going to be deployed on all the APs or to a group of APs just the way you want as a network admin. So this central management unit is the wireless LAN controller. Now the wireless LAN controller, or controller for short, can be deployed on physical or appliance hardware, or can be deployed as a virtual, just like a virtual machine, the way we deploy inside VMware ESXi, VMware Workstation, just will be running as an hypervisor type 2. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how to deploy a virtual wireless LAN controller because it's going to be easier to deploy, so I don't have to buy, or you don't have to buy also a physical appliance. But there is a big difference on deploying wireless networks using physical appliance, so physical controller versus virtual controller, and I'm going to show you in the video. Okay, so first thing first, let's download the controller from Cisco. So here on Cisco page, let's go to support and software download. So we want to download the virtual edition for the controller. So we can select browse all, and here we should select wireless. So this is, we can search by typing the name here or by following all of these steps. So we want to select wireless LAN controller, and we're going to select standalone controllers, and right at the bottom we have virtual wireless controller, and here I want to select wireless LAN controller software. So here you can select the recommended version. So at the time of this recording it is version 8.10, so 190, and the file we should download is the one that ends with OVA. So that's normally the format we use to import on ESXi or VMware Workstation, as I'll be using. Okay, so just select the file and download. So obviously you have to be logged in to download, and also just notice that service control is required to download this type of file. Okay, so once you download the image, just import into VMware Workstation. I can either be VMware Player, just the way I'm using, and it will begin the setup process. Okay, now we're going to terminate auto install, and we have to type the system name. So this is going to be the host name. So in my case, let's be virtual wireless LAN controller. So then we have to assign a username. So I'm going to use Silesio and set the password, and I have to confirm that. And next, username for AP. So I'm just going to use the same one, and the password as well. Okay, and enable passwords. Okay, so confirm that. And service interface IP address configuration. So I'm going to use static, so just to have control of this, and the service IP. Okay, the topology for this video might be a little different. So we have additional information now. So let's suppose this is our virtual wireless LAN controller. So it has a couple of virtual interfaces. So on this side we have the service interface, and this service interface I'll be using the IP 192.168.43.27, and on the other interface it is called the management interface, and here I'll use the IP 192.168.2.27 as well. So this is going to be /24, and here /24. Now on this side of the network I have my DHC, and I'm saying something and I'm writing different ones. So this is going to be my DHCP server, and DHCP server will be used to assign IP address dynamically to my AP and also to the client. So I'll have my AP here, and this AP will be used to connect, so to allow clients to connect to my network. So they will connect through wireless to the AP on the network 192.168.2.0.24, and I'll use the range 100 to probably 199 to assign dynamically IP address to the customers or to the clients. Okay, so that's going to be our topology in this video. So I'm just going to close these and let's continue the configuration. So the service interface IP will be 192.168.43.27. the net mask will be /24. Management IP address will be 192.168.2.27, and the mask will be 255.255.255.0. Okay, and the default router will be 192.168.2.1, and the interface VLAN identifier is 0 untagged. The management interface port will be port 1. The management interface DHCP server, so it's going to be the same as my default router, so that's 2.1. Virtual gateway IP, I'm just going to use a random IP address. Mobility, I'm just going to assign a random name, mobility group. So I'm not going to use this. Now the network name, that's going to be the SSID that the clients will use to connect to the wireless network. So I'm going to name this as CCNA Wi-Fi, and configure DHCP bridging mode, no. Allow static IP address, yes. Configure radio server, no. Country code, so I'm at Portugal, so that's going to be PT. Enable interface, yes, yes, yes. And auto RF, yes. I don't want to set NTP now. And system time also no. Would you like to configure IPv6? No. Now if everything is correct, let's confirm by typing yes, and it's going to reboot or restart the controller. Okay, the controller is back, so now let's proceed to the page, and looks like still loading, but let's try. And so the username is Silesio and the password, let's try to sign in, and we are inside of the controller. So you can see we have one wireless network, no access point at this moment, so nothing happened. We go to wireless network, we should see CCNA Wi-Fi. Okay, on the controller side is completed. Now let's take a look at the AP. Okay, so now we're going to reset the AP into its factory defaults. So I'm going to press mode button, and I'm going to power it on. I'm going to hold it for 20 seconds. So you can see that it starts blinking to blue. And I'm going to keep it pressed until it turns to amber. Okay, so now I'm going to release. Okay, and it will start looking for the image to be downloaded. Okay, so if we go back to the monitor, so we should see this error while trying to download a file from the TFTP server. Now, before we continue, there's something that I have to highlight. You see, this AP by default, it runs on autonomous modes. And if we want it to be managed by a controller, we have to convert it to lightweight AP. So that's essentially the mode that allows an AP to be managed by a controller. So you have to download an image from Cisco, upload to the AP, and then enable or convert it to be running on lightweight mode. Now you can tell this if it's running lightweight or autonomous mode depending on the image. So this image K977 is lightweight. So the autonomous mode image will have the name K988. Okay, so probably I'll make a video just explaining these, how to convert from one mode to another. And there's still one more detail that I'm going to explain along the video. Okay, so here we're just going to type boot and it's going to reboot the AP. Okay, the AP is back online, so now it should be assigned an IP address. So you can see here it was assigned the IP 2100. So now it will try to discover the controller. So I'm going to enable the controller IP address or the interface, and so now the AP will start sending a broadcast or CDP. So you will try to find a way to discover the controller. So right now it's trying to resolve this name, okay, and it's going to fail, but it will be able to discover the controller using the broadcast because they are in the same network. Okay, the AP was able to successfully discover the controller, and you can tell it by those messages. So it was able to join the controller on this IP 227. Recall that's the management IP of the controller. Okay, so now let's go to the controller and confirm whether the AP is actually being managed, and we can confirm that we have one AP. So if we go to detail, so that's the AP name, so we can change the name. So that's the AP IP address. So now this AP was assigned to that wireless LAN network. So if we go to wireless LAN, advanced AP groups, so there is this default group, and we should see that for wireless LAN CCNA Wi-Fi we have one AP. Okay, but the thing is, in this moment the AP won't be able to advertise this wireless LAN, and this is because there is a limitation when using virtual wireless LAN controller. So whenever we are using virtual wireless LAN controller, it only supports Flex Connect, and I'm going to show you in a moment what do I mean by that. So if we go to wireless and all APs, so let's go to this AP. So there are different modes when we deploy an AP. So it looks like it's still loading, so we have to try it again. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, so as I was saying, there are different modes when we deploy an AP. By default, the APs, they will be in this AP mode local. This mode is not compatible with virtual wireless LAN controller, so we have to change this from local to Flex Connect. Now in short, Flex Connect is a way that allows the AP to work like in autonomous mode. So the difference is, when we have autonomous mode, is that the clients, they connect directly to the AP, and the AP is responsible for managing all the traffic for the clients. And when we're using a controller, the AP will establish a cap web tunnel with the controller, and then the client traffic will go through this tunnel to the controller. Now by using the Flex Connect mode, in case the AP loses connection to the controller, he should be able to handle the client traffic normally, just like it would be on autonomous mode. Okay, essentially that's what Flex Connect is used for. So we're going to change the AP mode to Flex Connect, and we're going to apply this. So now we should be able to see the wireless LAN network being advertised by the AP. So if we go to my computer here and if we click on the network card, so I have my wireless card, and we should see that CCNA Wi-Fi is being advertised. So let's connect to this network. Okay, so I'm going to type the password, and actually there is something that we have to change. You can see that it's asking for username and password. This is because the type of security is set to WPA2 Enterprise. So let's change this to be an easy one, so we can just use pre-shared key. So let's go over the controller and let's go to wireless LAN. You'll click on wireless LAN, security tab. So here we want to change to probably WPA2 or WPA, or we can just change from let's see, it should say here enterprise. Yes, security type from enterprise to personal. And here we should see this field pre-shared key. Okay, and we're going to type what's going to be our pre-shared key, and we're going to apply this. Yes, we are sure. So this is done. So let's go to monitor and back to our PC. So let's try to connect again. So CCNA Wi-Fi, connect automatically. And probably I have to forget this network. Let's open network settings. And let's just Wi-Fi and show manage null networks. No, it's not here. So let's just try to connect again. Show available, connect, and let's type the password. Next. No, we don't want. And it's trying to connect. So let's see. CCNA Wi-Fi. So it is connected. So if we take a look, it should say that it is connected on network 192.168.2.102. So as you can see, we're able to successfully connect a client to this wireless LAN network by using an AP and a virtual wireless LAN controller. So I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.